Good morning, Richmond. Good morning, good morning. You guys look fantastic. I just want to thank City Minded, first of all, for putting on this fantastic event. Every year, in fact, we came on last year in Detroit, my hometown. One thing that I noticed about this venue is the collection of minds, the diversity of thought, as well as really the heart associated with the programming, the content. So give it up for City Minded and all the organizers. So I'm here representing Qualcomm under the global leadership of Kiva Allgood, who is really responsible for technology that finds itself in over 8 billion cell phones or smartphones shipped globally. That's almost a phone for every person on the planet. So as we think about this transformation that mobile technology has had on our daily lives as consumers, it's really important for companies like Qualcomm, like Cisco, like AT&T to begin to look at ways to leverage this technology for the betterment of our cities, for our geographies, for our citizens. And that's really what this hackathon is about. At Qualcomm, over the last, 20 years, we spent over $26 billion in R&D. So there really is a commitment from leading global companies to innovation. But innovation also is really important as it relates to cities, our daily lives as citizens. It requires vision. It requires a coming together of talent from different sectors of our economy, from individuals like the young lady Doria, who talked about the real community movement around her project, as well as some of the students that you'll see that have come over from Berkeley to participate in the hackathon, to people who are just learning to code, who are here from Richmond. The stories that we heard from the hackathon are inspired. So over 100 different individuals registered for the hackathon. We had 35 people here over the weekend that formed 8 teams, and the results, I think, are impressive. Before I get to introducing the teams, I just wanted to thank the judges that spent their time over the weekend, and you can find their names in the program. So just a round of applause for the judges. And I also want to just recognize some of the companies that made it possible. So we had Qualcomm, Cisco, OSI Soft, Microsoft with those fine tablet machines out there, and AT&T. So without any further ado, what we're going to do now is I'm going to bring out the top 3 teams that were selected as finalists from the hackathon. They have about 3 minutes to give you their pitch plus a demo. Now you have to try and stay within the time frame, or else Gordon's going to play some loud music and somebody in a nightgown is going to escort you off the stage. The Sandman, right, there it is. Without any further ado, what I'd like to do is bring up Stride. Stride is going to present their concept, which I think is pretty novel. I want you guys to introduce yourself, tell us about your idea, and then I'll come up and bring up the next group. Everybody welcome Stride. Okay. Move it up. Okay. There we go.
Hi there. We're Team Stride from Oakland. So, I hate to rush it, but we got 2 minutes. So, we conceptualized a free incentive-based workout application that can be available over iOS and Android environments. You can track your workout. You can earn discounts by checking in at local businesses on a sponsored route. You can challenge other users who make their content public. Sign up is simple. If you've ever signed up for an app, you've seen this before. You can sign up with your email, or you can check in or sign in with Facebook, Twitter, or Google. We let users create their own unique username as well. You can tell us if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, choose to walk, run, or bike, and you can challenge someone using our fit feeds, which you can see Mayor Tom Butt has already signed up. So there are 2 home screens, really. The first home screen that a user will see when they sign up allows them to select one of 4 options. And there's a back panel that will store the rest of the options that a user has. We want to focus on what differentiates this from every other workout app that you've already seen. It's the stride for rewards, your ability to challenge a user, and your ability to earn rewards. Earn more rewards, really. So a business signs up online using a template to create an offer. Users search offers and are able to sort by location, value of the offer, and the difficulty of the route that the business has chosen. The user completes the mission. That can involve 2 check-ins, complete the route, and share the route to your social media. And then the user receives a coupon that's stored in the My Rewards panel. As you can see, 50% off a $5 footlong or a footlong is an option. So how does business find out about this? There is an area where you're allowed to actually share this or share a business that's one of your favorite businesses with us. You can just put the business name and email that you can get from a card and vote if the business is 1 to 5 stars. We'll send an auto-generated email asking the business or letting the business know that they've been voted 5 stars on Richmond's Let's Stride mobile app, and they can sign up and create an offer. That'll go public. You can also challenge a user. Beat a user's best time on their routes. They'll receive a notification that you've beat their time, and it'll ask them and encourage them to try to beat that time so they increase their fitness, if you will. Users can turn off the challenge as well. Thank you. Sorry.
In conclusion, this mobile app encourages the community to engage in and enjoy the local landscape while getting healthy and fit.
Thank you.
You guys did fantastic. The one question I forgot to ask you guys is, when did you guys start coding?
Oh my God, last week.
Give it up. There it is. That's what this is about. So that's what we're talking about. You know, one of the things that's interesting about hacking is, I don't know how many software folks do we have in the room? Raise your hand. You guys don't know anything about hacking. Come on. I've got a newborn at home, so the only thing I'm hacking is diapers right now. So, but the one thing that we really encourage the hacking teams to do is really focus on the problems of this geography of Richmond. So we thought about things and we talked to the city. The city has been great in providing us with data, providing us with its priorities around sustainability initiatives, around quality of life initiatives, around economic development initiatives, and really about access. How do you get access to different residents for high-speed broadband, et cetera? So these are the types of challenges that the teams actually took on. So as you hear from our next group, think about how that relates to the criteria. So Labor Today is actually going to be our next group. I welcome you guys on. Be sure to introduce yourself and welcome. Time's running. All right, why don't we have the camera? Can you show their? Okay, there we go. All right, perfect.
Okay. Good morning, meeting of the minds. We are Labor Today, a group of graduate students from the School of Information at UC Berkeley. Next slide. So you can see from the photo, we've talked with a lot of real Richmond locals, from local business owners to construction workers to life coaches. And the more we talk with them, the more we refined our scope to address one issue: finding day laborers work. So we created a text-based messaging system that connected day laborers with employers. And so what does this all mean? It means no data, no Wi-Fi. It means real-time results for the people who need it most. It means no waiting outside of Lowe's for a job that may never come.
So as Carlos said, all this user research helped us think about the product in a very user-centric way. And to do that user-centric design process, we came up with two personas, Samantha and Phil. So as you see, Samantha is a Richmond local. She's very fond of gardening. She has her heart set on a weekend project where she's going to be doing some yard work, but she doesn't do a lot of heavy lifting or bending. So she needs help. Then the other persona is Phil. He's a day laborer standing outside Lowe's just 2 miles away from Samantha, but he doesn't know how to get in touch with Samantha. So we worked around Phil's persona, tried to understand his problems, and designed a solution and a product that is accessible to him in terms of technology.
So what does Samantha need to do? It's very easy for her using Labor today to fill out an online form on the web. She just fills in her contact information, what type of service she needs, when she needs the service, and how many people she needs. And her information gets stored on an online database, and along with the requests from other employers. Now, what does Phil need to do? Phil sees a flyer that says, if you need a job today, text this number with your name. So he texts the number, and the messaging platform sends a reply to him with when do you need work, today or tomorrow. He replies with just 1 or 2, and he gets a response saying, okay, what type of work do you do? With several options. So he just selects 2 as an option for yard work, and what the messaging platform does in the back is it filters and processes the results and finds 3 options. Samantha is one of those options. So she gets a message saying, do you want Phil to work for you? And then she replies with yes, and then both of them exchange each other's contact information, and they can actually meet each other.
As information scientists, we worry about issues like privacy, exploitation, minimum wage. But what we worry more about is using technology to help people to connect, to change their lives, at least one text message at a time. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, so we've heard 2, and now we're going to hear our final group, which is called Rooted. So why don't you guys make your way to the stage. For anyone who's not familiar with the hackathon format, it's part contest, it's part idea fest, right? So you really have a coming together of ideas in a compressed time frame. You have to try and make something that's workable, usually in a day and a half session, a lot of donuts and a lot of Mountain Dew. So, you know, what these guys were able to accomplish over a weekend has been pretty impressive. So I'd like you guys to just introduce yourself. This is Rooted.
Hi, we're Rooted, and our product is the Stock Exchange. This is Jason, JP, and I'm Brandy. For the past 2 years, I've worked in Oakland alongside residents and activists to address health equity issues such as healthy, nutritious food. Richmond and Oakland have many similarities, including the fact that many neighborhoods in both cities are considered food deserts. If you don't know what a food desert is a neighborhood that doesn't have ready access to healthy, fresh, and affordable food. Instead of supermarkets, there's typically only fast food and convenience stores. And this is the case for about 1/3 of folks in Richmond. Consider that along with the fact that in the US, approximately 40% of all food goes to waste for a variety of reasons. And as communities deal with food access issues, gardening is often seen as part of the solution. And so in our process, we were able to identify several community gardens, as Doria spoke about this morning, run by nonprofit schools and other faith-based organizations. We also looked closely at the highly diverse population mix in Richmond and wanted to make sure that our product was usable in either English or Spanish. And so we created the Stock Exchange to help reduce food waste, improve access to healthy, nutritious food, help neighbors get to know one another, and to help each other out. And so the Stock Exchange is an HTML5 web app built with Django with responsive design. We've developed 3 ways that you can swap your produce. So you may have extra onions, someone has some bananas, you want to trade. You may have some extra onions and someone's a carpenter and you need some help with some carpentry, and so you can trade. You may also just have way too much onions and you just got to get rid of them, so you can trade for a smile. And so in our site, we also have some resources for folks. We have a wiki where you can get recipes, nutritious information, also gardening tips for the local climate, etc. The other thing that we thought about is how scalable this could be. You could have richmond.thestockexchange.com. You could have oakland.thestockexchange.com. And so now Jason's going to walk you through our product and demonstrate an exchange that might happen between neighbors who would use the stock exchange.
All right, I'm just going to do one quick example of a swap here, or an exchange. I have one user that has a garden defined, and you see that they have some acorn squash. So I'm a user who wants acorn squash. I'm going to log in with Google+. And apparently that's me. So now I can go down here. I want acorn squash. Here's somebody that has it. And I can message this person. And over here, I now have gotten that message. And I can accept a trade. And you can say, I can mow your lawn, or I don't, I see that you have a lot of apples. Can I, just come over and talk and hang out and eat some apples? And that's it.
Thank you.
All right. So the thing to keep in mind for anyone who's gone to a hackathon is the ideas are going to be great. They're going to be across the board. They're going to be things that are out of the box. But what's more important is really the process. And it's the process of getting very smart individuals, talking to people, some very smart people in the community, and really kind of bringing people together to start a dialogue. And that's really what the National Day of Hacking is about. That's what all of these civic hacking events are really intended to drive. And that's what really what City Minded and Qualcomm and Microsoft and AT&T are really about. So without any further ado, for the Civic Hack track, it's time to announce the winner. May I have a drum roll on the table, please? This year's the first annual Richmond Hackathon for Meeting of the Minds goes to Stride. Come on up, the entire team, please come on up. Our fine judges that judged the hack over the weekend felt that this group really embodied the spirit and the creativity associated with the hackathon, and they did an excellent job. I also want to give a hand to all of the teams that participated in the hackathon as well. Thank you for all your hard work. All right. So who wants the check? So let's do a quick photo op. Everybody, one more round of applause. We're going to fill this out for you. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right. So I'm getting the cue. We got to speed up. We've got one last little portion, and we wanted to open up this process to not only individuals and ad hoc teams, but also to corporations. So we have a separate track called the industrial track, and we had 4 teams participate this year: Accenture, Singularity, Energy Works, and Cypress Enviro Systems, and they all did amazing projects. In the interest of time, we've selected the finalists, which are the last 2. So I'd like to introduce the Accenture team up to talk about their idea for the industrial hack. And from an industrial perspective, really what we wanted to do was really work with big data, to work with Internet of Things technology, and to deal with problems that could potentially scale to Richmond and beyond. So would you guys just introduce yourself, if you wouldn't mind?
Hello. Am I mic'd up here?
Here you go.
Maybe not. Hi, I'm Stephen Teal, and I'm really pleased to represent Accenture. I've been an attendee at Meeting of the Minds for several years, and this is the first time I'm able to give back. So I'm really pleased about that. And I'm really happy to be representing Accenture Technology Labs. We are a group of about 150 people across 5 locations globally. We like to think of ourselves as the tip of the spear of innovation for Accenture, and we have, a whole cadre of really talented developers that build things that nobody else has ever done before. And so my team actually builds our technology vision, which is our firm's premier thought leadership. A quick plug there, accenture.com/technologyvision. And you can help learn how you can use digital technologies to take your agency, your organization, your public or private sector business to a whole nother level. And I certainly didn't do the work. I think for a living. It's Miguel and 2 of our other colleagues who, really built this system, came up with the ideas and whatnot. And so with that, I'll hand it over to Miguel to really kind of talk about what they did and talk about how, we use primary and secondary research to really kind of hone in on a specific space around criminal justice where we can have impact.
Hey guys, so in reference to the hackathon that we wanted to do, we wanted to tackle some problem areas that we normally see in the industry. And for Richmond, and we know that for the solutions that we want to enable, we want it to be that it actually can scale as well. And so not only does it apply to Richmond, but it also applies to many different areas in the States. And so the problem that we were trying to tackle is the re-entry for people who had past criminal offenses, and they need to find positions and jobs when they come back into society. And that's quite a difficult challenge. And when they don't have that, it actually makes it very difficult for them to stay in society. And so we wanted to develop a tool in which they can find jobs that are relevant for them, something that has a good barrier of entry. Jobs like blue-collar jobs that are mechanic, drivers, laborers, you name it, it's there. And so we wanted to for our hackathon, if you go to webegin.org, we pretty much set up a front-end site that allows people to figure out what jobs are available for them. You might notice when you do a job application, there's this box that says, have you had any past criminal records? The process for that is that a lot of the resumes go to the trash. And unfortunately, we want to have platforms where there are jobs catered for them, catered for a second chance. And so for us techies, which do have higher education and access to resources like Indeed, LinkedIn, there is no site for other people as well who need those types of resources. And you can imagine the amount of effort that is required for them to find jobs and go through many, many opportunities and offers and to see that they're declined just because of their background check. If there are jobs that are catered for only them, I think there will be an easier barrier of entry to help those who need it and also address the unemployment rate and not only in Richmond, but as well as the United States as well. And so just a quick demo, if you wanted to search by the job application, you'll see that on the left there's a job type. Those are the top blue-collar jobs in the industry, and it's sorted in a back-end database as well, that when you click and type, you can actually get the results feeded through very, very quickly. Another feature that we wanted to add later on is SMS. So you would imagine if someone gets it back into the environment, they're given, like, maybe we consider them dumb phones, just to SMS. Doesn't really have the smartphone interface where you can go on the internet. You can imagine if we enable them just to have a simple user profile where they send a text message to like a 5-digit number saying you're looking at access for resources like jobs, then we can have a quick dialogue from an automated system that can enable them to get access to our resources. And so what you see here is our platform, but it will scale out to help those in need. And we can also get benefits from society as well. So that's about it, but I want to thank you, and pleasure to be here as well today.
All right. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks again. As you guys know, the economy is a challenge because we've been struggling with fairly flat growth, a lot of global challenges. At this point, no matter what color your collar is, being able to have a job and an opportunity is really important. So I'm glad you guys focused on that. Thank you. All right. So next, I'll like to bring up Simularity. Give a round of applause for Simularity. I think they came up with something that's fairly relevant to Richmond. So I look forward to kind of hearing. Where's your device? Didn't bring it? All right. I'll be your mic stand here. I should also mention that Yamaha was really central to this hackathon submission as well.
So I'm Liz Durr, founder and CEO of Similarity. There we go. And is it showing yet? No. Yay. And at a previous hackathon, I heard about a project that Yamaha had to attach air quality sensors to vehicles, and I thought that might be a great fit for Richmond. Richmond has air quality issues. It's home to industries that sometimes pollute. I'm not bashing Chevron, but in 2012 there was a fairly major incident, and they do have air quality sensors that are along the Chevron fence line. But they're only measuring 3 different areas, and they've got a community location and a fence line location. The issue is Chevron might not be the only problem, or even the biggest problem, but all we're measuring is these static air quality stations here, so how would we know? Our proposed project is to attach a mobile air quality sensor to city vehicles to get a broad, real-time view of air quality throughout the city. We want to publish this data in real time so that citizens can refer to it and use predictive analytics that combine air quality data with census data for policy and planning purposes. So here you see our little City of Richmond car with our VASP on it. VASP stands for Vehicle as Probe, and this is the unit that Yamaha is creating. It's got a number of air quality sensors on it, and you can connect it to any kind of vehicle. So what we did was take the prototype, which is this funny looking thing in the basket here and the duct tape, added that, took data from that by driving around the city and added that to the census data. We put that into our user interface and also our artificial intelligence system that can do the correlations. So step 1 was to attach it to the car and drive it around. This was the maiden voyage, and I did a little belt and suspenders thing with an awful lot of extra on there that I didn't need to, but it did not fall off. I did not want to ruin their prototype. This is what the data looks like that we got ingested. It takes readings every 5 seconds. We added in census data for Richmond and can combine that now with the readings coming off of the VASP. In this situation, we combined median household income with nitrogen dioxide data that came off of the VASP. And here, you can see that the high nitrogen dioxide readings were actually in the upper income groups. The darker areas are the higher medium income. And in a lot of cases, and actually what I expected to find was that in the poorer neighborhoods, there would be more pollution. But in this particular case, it turned out not to be so. And I think these are the kinds of insights you can find when you're measuring this data on a regular, real-time, hyper-local basis. We're also able to look at correlations between census tracts and different types of pollution that we've detected. So in this case, we were asking which areas are correlated with medium to high levels of nitrogen dioxide. And what we were able to do here is create a real-time air quality mechanism that's available to the public that citizens can check with at a hyper-local level. We can also measure energy efficiency by measuring hyperlocal CO2 emissions to see who is polluting, where there's opportunity for improvement. Pardon?
Music's playing.
So come by our table. We've got a demo there. And if I got one quick second here. There it is. OK, up on the screen. Oh, goodness, it's so hard to play. Come see our demo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So before we announce the winner, would like to invite one of the judges, Ruth Yomtoubian, to come up on stage to talk about how we're going to do the dollars. Because the one thing we wanted to do with the Industrial Hackathon is make sure that the funds go to the community to actually improve something that's really of importance to Richmond. So, Ruth?
All right. Let's see if this is on. Hello. Hi, I'm Ruth. I'm a director at the AT&T Foundry. That's AT&T's Innovation Center, just based right across the bay in Palo Alto. I'm really happy to be here today to present the award. We had a great panel of judges. So first, judges, wave your hand in the air if you're in the audience right now. There you go. And AT&T is involved in the innovation ecosystem here in the Bay Area. We see a lot of startups, work with a lot of other big partners. And so it was great to be a part of this program where we saw some of the other companies sharing their ideas. So without further ado, I want to announce the winner of the Industrial Hackathon. So I guess we're going with the drum roll, right? Is Similarity. So if you could come on stage. What's really fun about this award is actually the check for $5,000 is made out to the Rise Youth Center. So I'd like to invite Kimberly to come up to accept the funds.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, great job.
So hopefully with this money, which goes to funding coding and digital training workshops, we'll have some of the youth of Richmond here next year participating in the hackathon. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And congratulations. Congratulations.
All right. So why don't we move on with the program? I just want to thank you guys for having great attention and giving these guys a lot of love. And thanks to Meeting of the Minds for allowing us to have this hackathon again. Thank you, Richmond.
Thank you, Aidoo. Thank you so much.